Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to all the witnesses and General Carrillo and General Langley. Thank you for your decades of uniformed service. I want to thank you, General Langley, for these great placemats. I mean, it's a fantastic graphic depiction of why Africa is so important to our national security now and into the future. And in particular, the things that I sort of honed in on is the fact that it's 11 of the 20 fastest growing economies in the world are in Africa. 25% of the 193 countries in the General Assembly of the UN hold seats in Africa. And the rare earths is probably maybe even more interesting in how much China controls here. So in this context, in this sort of geopolitical context, when we look at all the elements of power, we have diplomatic, information, military, economic, and I know there are various iterations of this. Ms. Thompson, you emphasized the importance of countering China's influence in Africa. However, this week, the House is voting on a rescission package that cuts $3.7 billion in soft power. For example, hundreds of millions in cuts to PEPFAR, a program started by George W. Bush. Forgetting the more than 25 million lives saved by PEPFAR since the program started in 2003, there's no question that there has been this has been an effective program in extending America's power and influence. This has made us safer and boosted our national security. And in the testimony that DOD sent over for today's briefing, it said, unfortunately, the CCP information manipulation is significantly outpacing our efforts to counter their campaigns. Unchecked, China's efforts could reshape the information landscape in Africa, creating biases and gaps that could lead African nations to make decisions to subordinate the economic and security interests to China's own. So my question is, given sort of the withdrawal that we've seen this administration take in the information environment and communicating through, Voice of America and other entities that are specifically focused on Africa, and in withdrawal of these critical soft power programs, are we more or less in a position to make sure that our military objectives are achieved?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. I can't speak explicitly to the State Department equities in this, particularly the humanitarian aid that you speak about. However, I will say from a Title X DoD perspective, obviously the department has...
I'm sorry, let me stop you for a second. I'm talking about like sort of these elements of power, all right, and there's a balance to these, right? So by withdrawing from the informational, from the economic elements, does that make achieving the military objectives more or less difficult?
Appreciate the question, sir. What I would say from a DoD perspective, thinking exclusively about the Title X assistance that we provide, particularly on the continent, that's part of our review process, is understanding how our
okay. Let me pause you right there. General Langley, same question to you. Does this make achieving the military objectives more or less difficult?
Especially in the MISO. We just, as far as our information operations, countering some of the propaganda that the CCP is putting out there. Yes, that's where we need to be able to confront them, because we had a lot of success in the past, and even going forward, Secretary Hicks has given us the tools to press back on the CCP.
So thank you, General Langley. I heard yes, which I think is the short answer to the question, and I just
there are
want to
things
make sure
that we need to counter them going forward.
Switching gears to the Houthis, General Carrillo, over the last few months, we spent over $1 billion attacking the Houthis. And our campaign, can you evaluate whether we've disrupted, neutralized, destroyed their capabilities?
So the president gave us a very specific mission, which was to get the Houthis to quit shooting at American ships. 6 months ago, on 12 November 2024, was the last time a destroyer went through the Bab el-Mandeb. It was attacked 17 times with anti-ship ballistic missiles and anti-ship cruise missiles and UAVs. In the last week, we've put 4 destroyers back through the Bab el-Mandeb, and we were not shot at.
Okay, I got that. They're not attacking U.S. shipping. Are they still attacking Israel? Yes or no?
They are still attacking Israel, and we are still defending Israel with our THAAD system.
Thank you.